Legend of War here, and today we're doing a rating you one-man Doomstack, covering Kugath Plaguefather when he has 28,938 health. So this guy that sent this in has provided Kugath every HP bonus that he possibly can, to a total of essentially 95% extra hit points. So obviously he's got the Nemesis Crown here. He doesn't have the Sword of Cain, so that's nice. So we got the Necrotic Missiles instead. Because yeah, the Sword of Cain kind of makes these one-man Doomstacks a little bit boring, since it's really not optimal to pick it up in the campaign. Whereas the Nemesis Crown is kind of optimal, especially for one-man Doomstacks, because the negative effects are really not that big of a deal. In terms of equipment, he's got the Armor of Destiny, that makes sense. Talisman of Preservation, the Chromatic Tome, which that's good for Winds of Magic, but it's not going to provide any resistance. For an enchanted item, there's not really anything you're going to find, I think, except for maybe the Iron Course icon, which will give you 10% extra missile resistance. However, he's already kind of at the maximum missile resistance, because that 31% ward save, 50% physical, so that gets it up to 81% physical resistance, and then an additional 10% there from missile resistance. So that means as long as the missile attacks coming in are physical, not magical, then he actually has 90% missile resistance. So for example, the Dark Shards are going to be 90% blocked. However, the Blood Rack Medusas, they're only going to be 41% blocked because it's the ward save plus the missile resistance. Anyway, let's jump in here and see how Kugath actually performs. So we're going up against about 2 full stacks here, so not the largest amount of force we've ever seen, but he's gone up against an appropriate enemy because Kugath Plaguefather is super vulnerable to getting shot because he's a big fat giant character, and the best one-man Doomstacks have always been characters that are quite small because missile units just can't target them, and they don't have as many, like, they can't get hit by as many entities because they're small. So for example, Malice Darkblade has always been one of the best one-man Doomstacks because even when he's mounted on Spite, units just can't properly target him when he's in melee, and as in missile units can't properly target him. And of course he's at the maximum ward save resistance. So even if a character has more health, then it doesn't, Malice is probably still better. Same thing with the Cathayan Dragons. And also another thing on those particular characters is that they've got like double lines of health regen. Now this guy here, Kugath Plaguefather, he gets an extra 10% battle healing cap in the tech tree. So with 85% of his health able to be regenerated, his max health is actually 53,535. So that's his actual total health. So as far as I'm aware, that is the highest HP character in the entire game. Is it going to be enough? Let's see. So let them come in. Try to shoot at the... No, just wait. Over here. Obviously, if we did have the Sword of Cain, he would be stronger. But I appreciate a one-man Doomstack that doesn't require the Sword of Cain. Another thing to consider with the Nemesis Crown, it becomes like a very powerful Mortis engine. Every one-man Doomstack that gets sent in from here on out pretty much requires having to bring in the Nemesis Crown because it's so good for one-man Doomstacks. You know, extreme amounts of weapon strength increase and also the hit points, and really that Mortis engine effect for melee characters just makes them on a whole other level. Like I remember we did a one-man Doomstack video for what's his name? Grimgor Ironhide, and the battle itself took like a friggin' hour because Grimgor had to manually kill each individual lizardman, and this was in Warhammer 2, and he ended up with like 100 HP at the end of the battle. But if he had the Nemesis Crown, I would have slaughtered that army super quickly because the Mortis engine effect would have destroyed them. So yeah, try to aim for missile units. Because they're going to be, I think, the biggest concern. Alright, let's just throw him into melee now. And see how he performs.
A sensible location.
So yeah, it takes a bit of damage. Kugath doesn't have regen by default, but it's relatively cheap to just use Fleshy Abundance.
Calculating my destination.
So how much damage did that end up doing? It wasn't that one that shot, it was this one. A little, that actually wasn't too bad. How much damage it did to us? Okay, a whole bunch of single entities crowding around him. So with Kugath, it's not about resisting damage, but just having so much health that we just outlast all these units. Can also use the Nemesis Ground ability to bombard any missile units that might be shooting at us. Probably should have used this right at the start. But we've got plenty of magic. Also got Blight Boil for any missile units that are shooting at us. Miasma of Pestilence got a serious nerf in the latest patch because it used to be overcasted. It would just affect the whole area, but now it spreads to multiple units. So the maximum potential is just significantly lower than it used to be. But if we have a look here, just from the Mortis Engine effect, ridiculous amounts of damage being done. I don't even know why I did that, we really don't need to. Using Nurgling Tide, don't need to. Just not needed. We want to make sure we keep Kugath as close to max health as possible because he's not unbreakable. We don't want him to start decaying. Yeah, they're not shooting us anymore. That's something. I don't think the miscast issue is going to be that big of a deal. Slowly grinding them down. It's got a decent amount of melee attack and weapon strength for sure, but we're not really killing any of these single entities with it. I'm sure this is all just Mortis Engine effect. The reason why I think that is because it's all pretty evenly spread out damage. There isn't like one of them that's nearly dead, but it might also be because these other units here might be worth attacking. I don't... Oh, they're backing off because their reinforcements are coming in. They want to get together and then attack again. That's fine.
My experiment succeeds.
Wow, Marathi did a lot of damage. Well, she got magical attacks and anti-large. So, against 50,000 health, that's not even 10% of it.
Unspeakable toxins.
But yeah, he definitely doesn't have amazing damage resistance. Sword of Cain would make him significantly stronger, but it wouldn't help the campaign situation. Although, Nurgle's Public Order isn't too bad. I still don't really recommend picking up the Sword of Cain. Like, if you just really want to make the strongest character ever, just Nurgle characters just aren't the ones that are going to do it.
Nurgle's command.
Okay.
Paid, not us.
I think he's going to really struggle at fighting. What are they doing? Are they just trying to cross? I'm on this side. What are they doing? The AI is so bad at dealing with this kind of stuff. Yeah, he's definitely not that good at dealing with single entities. taking him a while to kill them. Infantry is easy. Maybe I will use some Nurgling Tide. A lot of anti-large units here as well. Yeah, opponents versus large 30 there. Essentially their melee attack is at 96. Which is higher than our melee defense. So yeah, each one of these single entities is doing a decent amount of damage to us. What the hell is wrong with them? It's just... It's because it's a river crossing battle.
My experiment succeeds.
Yeah, it's not too bad at dodging these abilities. Still haven't hit our max regen cap though, so that's good.
The perfect blade.
Enemy enchantments!
Yeah, these guys are almost gone, because yeah, the single entities are definitely the biggest concern at the moment, because yeah, the missile units aren't even trying to shoot us at the moment.
Yes. They die.
Because yeah, there's two more ascension effects. Pestilent Decays in his skill line, and then of course you've got the Corruption of the Crown. Which is like 3 times as powerful.
Inevitable.
Back across now.
A new brew.
Still haven't hit our max regen cap. I think we'll hit it fairly soon, because I feel like he's taken at least 20,000 damage.
Nurgles, come on. The love of Nurgle.
Maybe not. So yeah, each of these single entities seem to have done about 1,000 damage to them, but maybe some of that damage was because of the Nurgle summon that I did.
Nurgle's pestilent ringmaster.
Where did Marathi go? Oh, she's in there. I just... The icon was blocked. I should probably try to focus on killing her. I reckon she's the one doing the most damage.
My experiment succeeds.
Debuff her so she doesn't dish out as much damage.
They are us.
She's got regen as well. No more reserves left anyway. Pointless. Could use this other one here, but this one's particularly good against infantry, which that's not the concern. Okay, there's our max regen cap. And there's the army losses. So it's definitely a good one-man doom stack, that's for sure. Is it as good as Malice Darkblade? No. Not even close. Malice Darkblade would have had no problem with this, especially with the Nemesis Crown. But you know, it's interesting seeing a character have that much health, for sure. So if I was to just put this down, let's see what our actual damage is. So we only took about 1,000 damage in the entire battle, essentially. They just got rid of his regen cap. And you know, it's not so costly on the campaign to have Kurgath Plaguefather just by himself with the Nemesis Crown, because the only effects is really himself is going to be higher upkeep cost, but he doesn't have an army, so it's not that expensive. And every faction in the game is going to absolutely despise you. Who cares? You know, you're playing as a demon. Nobody likes you anyway. The only factions that are really going to be negatively impacted by the Nemesis Crown's relationship -100 to all factions is pretty much the Order Tide. And even then, if you've established enough alliances, you can probably compensate the penalty at that point. So if you get it in the later stages of the campaign, you'll probably be okay. But yeah, that was interesting, for sure. He's definitely a lot better one-man Doomstack than he was before, because this is something that Kurgath should not be very good against. But that being said, man, the AI is very bad in this. I mean, they didn't really use their missile units much at all. But, you know, they had a lot of single-entity monsters that were anti-large, and they had Marathi in there dishing out quite a lot of damage. So, and, you know, he didn't actually manage to beat her. Just army lost her. Are they coming at it again? Okay, that doesn't matter. We don't need to do it again. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this one. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Kurgath Plaguefather as a one-man Doomstack. I don't think that this is amazing, personally. Just because he's got tons of health doesn't make him any better than really anyone else. Especially now that the Nemesis Crown... I mean, you can even turn spellcaster characters into one-man Doomstacks now. Especially spellcasters that are particularly small. I mean, Kurgath is technically a spellcaster, I guess. What I mean is more like wizard characters like Helmengorst. Imagine Helmengorst on foot with the Nemesis Crown could actually be a better one-man Doomstack than Kurgath Plaguefather. Basically, the smaller the character, the better. And Kurgath is just a bit big, making him vulnerable to multi-entities hitting him at once, hitting him up his ass, and also getting shot. So having loads of health isn't really helping him as much as just being smaller would be. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'd probably rate Kurgath probably like a 7 out of 10 for a one-man Doomstack. Comparing it to like Malice Darkblade at least. Just not that great. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.